guys, welcome to Ole SmokinSteve. Today we're going to be doing the final step on setting up our saltwater fishing reel, and that's putting the bait on. What we're going to be using is a artificial segmented shrimp, and we're going to be tying that onto our 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. And the knot we're going to be using today is the non-slip loop knot. That knot there will leave a loop there, and it's going to be loose. It's not going to be tied up against that bait, and that'll allow that bait to kind of slip in that leader, okay? Give it a little freedom to move as it was designed. So let's get started, and then I'll show you how we're going to tie that knot and get her rigged up. Okay guys, let's get started here. First of all, I'm going to be using this string and this measuring spoon here. That hole in the end is going to serve as the hook. And we're going to start out on this string, just making a loop and a little overhand knot. Okay, and we're going to close that knot up just a little bit, and we want to leave it open enough to where we can get through that hole in the center down the road. So we're going to take the end of that string and go through that hook, or in this case the measuring spoon. Then we're going to take that end of that string and go through that hole in that loop parallel with the line that's already going through that loop. Okay, once we get it through there, grab that loop with your thumb, and we're going to take that tag in, and we're going to close that loop down just a little bit first on that measuring cup, because if you don't get it about the right size now as you want it, it's going to be too late. So we're going to take the end of that tag line and start wrapping around that line there, and we're going to wrap it around 4 or 5 times, and take the end of that loop or the end of that line back through that loop parallel with the other lines, and we're going to kind of pull on both of them to cinch them up. Okay, and once we get it tight, that baby's not going anywhere, and we have our open loop there at the hook. As you can see, the line is open there. There's a loop, and that allows that artificial bait to move independently of that line. And here's the bait we're going to be putting on there today. It's artificial shrimp. And here's our 30-pound fluorocarbon leader that we're going to be tying on there. And just make that simple overhand loop. And make that loop a little bit smaller, but not so small that you can't get your line back through there. Okay. So now we're going to take that end of that line and go through that hook on our shrimp. Yeah, if I can get it through that hole. There we go. Then we're going to take that end through that loop parallel with the line that's already running through that loop. Okay. Okay, we want to start cinching that down a little bit. Both the tag end and the main line. And we want to try to get that loop the size that we want as a finished product around our bait. Because once we get this tied, we're not going to be able to make that loop any smaller or any bigger. So we want to get that loop about the size that we want around that hook. Okay. Just work at it and keep cinching her down. Once you get it, hang on to that loop that you've made and bring that tag in around that main leader. Wrap that around there 4 or 5 times and bring that end up through that loop parallel with the lines that are already running through that loop. So at this point we should have 3 lines running through that loop and all parallel with one another. So we want to start cinching that tag end along with that main line. Cinch those down together. Work at it. Pull on it. Cinch it up tight. The more you pull, the tighter it's going to get. Once you get it tight, you're going to have a finished product with an open loop around your bait. And that line will never tighten anymore around that hook. And that open loop is going to give that bait freedom to move on its own as it was designed, instead of that line controlling that bait. So guys, be sure to check out some of my other smoking and grilling videos. And thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.